Hello, ballers, short callers. Welcome to Desi Ballers. You're joining me, Nikhil, and my co-host Gopal. Hey,
Hey, what's
Gopal.
up? What's up, guys? What's up, Nikhil? How's it going?
So the reason Gopal is looking good today is I actually traveled to his home, made sure that he has everything set up right, and made sure that he has proper internet and all those things. This guy is a caveman, guys. He was using a 2005 laptop, I think, to try and do a live show. So, Gopal, how do you feel finally joining on time without any technical issues?
On third time's a charm, na? The episode 3. So I think it's good that we got cracking with the third episode. No, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited that you can hear me and you can see me. I thought it was either one of the two. So I'm glad that the things that we take for granted, you should never take anything for granted, right? I'm glad that we are able to start this show. And before we start, I just like to tell the viewers that we have a very, very exciting guest. He's like the Indian basketball's version of Saurav Ganguly. Okay, and I think also, Nikhil, that's a very defining moment for cricket. I also think it's a defining moment for basketball when we assert ourselves. Okay, I'll explain more on why I'm making this comparison later on. But it's Abhishek Tyagi. He's a Delhi basketball player. So, Nikhil, our first Delhi baller on the show. I think automatically sparks will fly. दिल्ली का लड़का है ये, तो I think it's going to be
मजा आने वाला है,
मजा
देखिए.
आने वाला है भाई. और
इससे
हिंदी
बात
में
करने में भी मजा आने वाला है.
हाँ बात करने में मजा आएगा. And we are
जो
going to speak
जो
in
जो
Hindi.
एंटिक्स के बारे में गोपाल ने मेरे को बोले, वो सुन के आई वाज लाइक, भाई इससे तो मिलना पड़ेगा.
Bhai, that guy has sort of waved the Indian flag in Egypt. Okay. सही में he went in front of the pyramids and India का झंडा दिखाया भाई. I'm like भाई मैं almost I got emotional भाई. Anyway, so the point, that's the guest Abhishek Tyagi, who's a pro bowler. We'll talk about him more. And the other thing that Nikhil, we should start talking about, because at the end it's Desi ballers, right? So we should talk about Indian basketball. There's a very, very exciting event going on now, which is the FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup. Okay, so for the viewers, I'm just going to give a quick overview on what this tournament is, right? So this is a 3x3 format. Both the Indian men's and women's team are taking part in it, and this is also a qualifier, Nikhil, for the World Cup. Okay, so that's why this matters. So FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup, we have two teams going. We have sort of gone with youth over experience. Normally, that's how we follow it, right? Because imagine, Nikhil, if Stephen Curry decides to play in a 3x3 in the Olympics, that'll just be strange, right? So that's the idea, is to give younger players a chance. Australia is a 3-time defending champions. Now, you may be wondering, what is Australia doing in the Asia Cup? So just to make it more competitive, Oceania teams, Australia, New Zealand, they also play in the Asia division, right? This started about 4 years ago. And among the women's, we have China as the reigning champions. This is also where it gets very interesting. This is what we're going to talk about in the what if scenario. And I would really love Nikhil's thoughts, because he's a marketer. I really genuinely want his thoughts about this. So 3x3 is where India has actually won at the Asia level. Now, for context, in the 5-on-5 format, the Indian men are usually between 9th to 13th in Asia.
Right.
Okay, so just imagine, in the 3x3 format, our women have actually won gold a couple of times. Our under 18 teams have won silver at the Asia level and qualified for the World Cup. And this is the most exciting part. Literally later this year, the Indian under 18 3x3 boys basketball team will be playing in the World Cup. Okay,
Wow.
now that's huge. And to make it even more exciting, Nikhil, all three guys on the team are from NBA Academy India. So there's
Wow.
an NBA connection, right? The fact that they're training in the best of facilities,
Okay.
it's showing. We have our big three. So that's a scenario. That's the FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup. The women's team literally is playing right now as we speak against New Zealand. The men are already in the main draw, so they'll be playing only on 1st April. So the what if, right? This is what gets our neurons flowing, right? The what if scenario is, what if 3x3 takes over from 5v5 as the most popular version of basketball. And the analogy that I want to draw is whether 3x3 is like the equivalent of the T20 version of cricket, right? We all know what IPL did to cricket. It changed the whole ecosystem of big three. Nikhil is taking the analogy to some other level, right? But that's a classic, that's a fight we are seeing there in the US, right? Big three was the NBA. So in India, there are other advantages, right? Because we can sort of jump the queue in a sense. Because
Right.
in the US, 5-on-5 is the premier format. You can't have Steph Curry, LeBron James, James Harden, all these guys playing 3-on-3. But India can actually prioritize 3x3, and we can qualify for the World Cup. And then the attention that we get, the mainstream attention, because 3x3, by the way, is also now an Olympic sport. That's huge. Right?
Right.
Just imagine the basketball team from India making the Olympics. That will just change the game, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And pun intended and pun not intended also, right? So, but the point is that if that happens, that could be huge. So,
So to think about this, the FIBA 3x3 guys. I mean, you can check it out. It is it's starting today, and it'll go on till April 2nd. One of the interesting things about this is, as Gopal was saying, that just because of the fact that the competition level initially may be a bit lower, Indian players may actually maybe be able to make a leapfrog. I will tell you this personally: when I'm playing NBA 2K, my favorite form is the black top 3x3, because if you think about it, so you say you have one center, two guards, two wings,
hmm,
right? That's the typical approach. uh, in the 3x3 you have one center, one guard, one wing. uh, and I just love it, because you get to select the best guard, the best center, and the best wing, and you just can start killing it. So while playing 2K, I love playing 3 on 3, especially if I'm playing against my brother. because because the game gets over so much faster, the possessions are so much quicker, the floor is so much more open, the kinds of shots you can take. In a 5 on 5, occasionally you feel that
yeah.
the court has become too tight, there's very
Hmm,
little space, it's become more physical instead of that actual. So for me, I always prefer Kobe's style over LeBron's style. Kobe's style is so beautiful, and don't get to see that. I
I,
don't get to see that when I'm seeing 5x5 a lot, unless and until it's a skill player at the level of Kobe or Kevin Durant. A LeBron or a Giannis just ramps through everyone and dunks. But on in a 3 on 3, you will get to see that physical game, but you'll also get to see this highly skilled game, because the sheer fact that the floor is more open.
hmm,
And what I would do is, if I am big three, right, I do something even more crazy. So why I brought up the analogy of big
hmm,
three and NBA, what I was thinking was, this experiment, what you just pointed out, is going on right now. The big three surprisingly performed very well economically. It became
hmm.
a very popular league. I actually watched some of the matches. They were really fun to watch. Like, they have a 4 point
Yeah, yeah,
score,
yeah.
and then the corners are actually cut off, and they've done these small tweaks. Another tweak they should do, and if I was big three I would do this, is reduce the shot clock from 24 to 14 seconds. Becomes a faster game. Like, the game
It
goes
is
on.
reduced. It is reduced.
I
By
think
the way,
it's got
Nikhil.
to 14 seconds, right?
It is 14. It is 14.
Oh, okay, perfect. So
Yeah,
if they do it like that, I think the game becomes so much faster,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
game gets over in like 30-40 minutes, instead
Huh,
of like 3 hours, what happens in the typical NBA game. I love it.
huh.
It's so much quicker to watch, quicker to enjoy. And this, I think, as you rightly pointed out, is a great opportunity. Now, from a marketing perspective, if
Huh.
this has to become bigger, right?
Hmm.
They have to start attracting better and better talent. Like, for example, eventually Steph is going to retire. When he retires, Big Three has
Ooh.
to put all the money they have into getting Steph into Big Three. I don't know if he will, because he's already pretty much, like, by the time he retires, he'll be another billionaire. People don't understand like how
Hmm.
Steph has some really nice investments. His Under Armour, shares are always pretty good. So, but if he has that incentive to actually come in, imagine Steph Curry in the Big Three. Now, why I'm stating these things is, I keep saying this: basketball, in the end of the day, you like it or not, is all about the players.
Hmm.
The moment bigger players, although right now they are not playing 3 on 3s, the moment bigger players decide, "Okay, boss, let's try this out." Once it gets the attention and people like, "Damn, this format is so much nicer." So, from a 5 year, 10 year perspective, I totally can see where a big three league or NBA, merges them or buys them out, becomes as big as the NBA from a viewership perspective, especially the people from the next generation, like, who don't want to watch an entire game. I'd rather watch a 40-minute, 50-minute, big three than a 3 hour long NBA game. And the second part is for India particularly, this is a superb opportunity because I have been to a lot of places where they don't even have a full basketball court. They just have a single
Yes.
hoop.
Yes.
And the 3-on-3 game, more often than not, whenever I go, we don't have a street ball culture here.
Yeah.
But there are some parks where you can find a court, and more often than not, you see people playing 3-on-3.
Yes.
Because why they play 3-on-3, guys, you won't believe there are like 10 other people practicing on the same court, so there's not enough time there's not enough place, to have a fan fight game. So you play 3-on-3 while other people are practicing. So what ends up happening is India, I can totally see they should really take advantage of this opportunity. I'm not sure who's the Olympic coach or the decision maker, but put in a lot of players focusing on this format where you have a lot more open space, you can have a lot more skilled players. I feel a lot of times that India has a lot of skilled players may not have the same level of athleticism or size as the 5-on-5 players. But then in 3-on-3 league, that skill actually helps.
Yeah.
Like in the first or second season of Big Three, you could see Gilbert Arenas with a broken, like basically like a surgery-ridden back and knee, tear it up because of his skill level.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
no athleticism, but he was tearing it up. So I totally can see this happening, but it's a 5 to 10 year timeline. India should invest, 2 to 3 years of their time. Fuck the 5-on-5 format right now. अभी पैसा नहीं है यार. Like you like it or not, if there's no money, no one's gonna give a damn about playing. And if the people who will pay out of passion, but that passion it'll eventually run into, the legs will just get cramped up. Like you'll just not have enough stamina. And
Yeah.
if you can get the gold, you attract, the sports ministries
Yes.
funding, and
Yes.
that money can be. So this is what happened if you think about it very deeply in badminton, right?
Hmm.
You had specific players who did really well, but you had a woman badminton player take it all the way, and then that the single coach focused heavily on women's badminton initially, but right now he's focusing on all India badminton.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something similar we've already see happen on other sport, and I can see badminton courts everywhere I go now, and I can see it's always full. See, in
Yes.
the end of the day, अपने अपने पास क्या है बॉस, अपने पास जनता है. बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर निकलेगा. Like I'm sure we'll have our own Luka Doncic, we'll have our own Giannis. Point is, does it have enough attention where someone can think about it as a career path?
Yeah.
And for that to happen, what you pointed out is very right, which is पूरा focus इस पे डाल दो, गांड मरा है दूसरा सब कोई. And then get them to the semis, get them to the finals. Because like imagine, as you said, a silver or a gold, it's enough to get enough attention. And dude, one thing which I know for sure is the amount which Indian sports can get for $1. So
Hmm.
$1 invested in an American basketball sport versus $1 invested in Indian basketball, the stamina or the mileage which we can get is crazy.
We can run it, man. We can stretch that rupee to like the limits. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope this happens, and we are seeing a parallel right now going on. But yeah, to conclude the session, guys, do check out the FIBA 3-on-3. So Gopal, you want to tell a little bit more about this?
Yeah. So this event is being live streamed on the FIBA 3x3 YouTube channel, right? So that's one more thing that people keep asking. Where can we watch the games? But the beauty of
So
many of these, yeah,
the links have been added in the comment section, guys. You can check it
awesome.
out.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Yeah, yeah. So the other thing that I just want to add, Nikhil, I wanted to guess. Okay, this is like a trivia. Just a guess. I'm not. What do you think was the highest that the Indian men's 3x3 ranking has reached? Okay, I'll give you context. The 5-on-5 men's ranking is 82
All across the globe.
all across the globe. So, what do you think would be India's 3x3 men's ranking, the highest?
50th, 55th.
It was number 15, 1-5.
Oh wow.
Okay, simply because again the ranking system, how it works is that if you just conduct a 3x3 pro basketball league, it's a point system, right? So Nikhil, literally you and I can add to the India's points if we just play in these affiliated tournaments, FIBA 3x3 affiliate, we all get points, and the more players play and the more points we get, the national federation ranking goes up, right? So
Wow.
strength in numbers, right? Before we go to the NBA section, and we're going to talk a lot about the Warriors, of course, but strength in numbers, literally, if we all start playing in these 3AC tournaments, we can get direct qualification to the World Cup, by the way. Simply by जनता को खिलाओ, खेलो और ranking बढ़ाओ, right? Use our strength. So that's how we conclude with this. What if? Yeah.
Perfect. So let's move on to our next segment, which is react like the rundown of the awesome game which happened today morning. Warriors Pelicans. Loved the game. Absolutely loved the game. This was a like a typical Warriors game. And if you're a Warriors fan, you would have loved it as much as I did. I'm 100% sure. Now, why this game was important is Warriors and Wolves were stuck in the 6-7 playoff battle. It's still going on. Like Wolves have a game tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see what happens with that. But the sixth spot in the playoffs is highly coveted, and the reason is the team which is playing the sixth spot will end up facing the Kings, which for the first time in like 20 years have made the playoffs. And the Kings is a
Hmm.
very relatively inexperienced team. So the theory is that that'll be a easy matchup. In fact, if the Warriors win it, I think they sweep the Kings. Like they get the sixth spot, right? They sweep the
Yeah.
Kings. Just because the fact that you saw the game today. So today, Gopal, we saw this happen. So to give you a rundown of the game, this was a
Yeah.
bit of the context of why this game was important. Uh, Pelicans also, by the way, they're 38-38. They are still in the plane. It's going on. It'll be if they would have won this game, even they would have been tied with the Warriors for
Wow.
the
Wow.
6-7. So it was a very important game. And had Warriors lost this, like whatever happened in the game, they actually saved their season by winning this game. So a very important game, and it was an awesome game. To start with, the very first is like I feel okay. So before I start talking about this, I had a friend who ran a sports analytics company, and he specifically focused his analytics on AI, his entire analytics on AI to do betting. Okay,
Hmm.
so he focused heavily on that. Now, why is that? So he was like, dude, in the end, if I can get good betting results, I can make big money, man. I don't have to think about consumers, this, that. So he built this platform. He trained it on his own. He built it for 6 years, and he sold that platform to another larger betting company. But before he sold it, his average hit rate of guessing whether a team would win or not in basketball was
Okay.
84%. Okay.
Wow.
So to a point where he was banned from every betting platform across the globe. Now, why did I give it this context?
Ah.
So when I was telling him, so like if you had to guess based on your analytics, based on your AI models and all, who's the goat? And I'm going to say something very very controversial here. Okay, so this is what he said. This is what he broke down. So he's like look, if you compare different eras, obviously the people in the previous era, they didn't shoot as much as now.
Hmm.
So if you account for the data which you have of what they did and how they shot, and you calibrate it to today, and you'll be like, okay, so the goat is the normal conversation is the goat is either LeBron or Jordan, right?
Yes.
For 90% it's Jordan, for 10% it's LeBron, and vice versa. I mean, it's a very like it's a ongoing debate. But he said statistically, if I had to start
Wait, can I
a
guess?
team,
Should I guess?
yeah. So, whom do you think he said statistically? If he had to decide whom to choose, whom do you think he should start the team with?
So because you're asking me, we're talking about Warriors, so I'm guessing it must be someone from the. Are you talking about Steph Curry? No.
Yes. So he told
Oh.
me statistically, no one comes close to the impact Steph Curry has on the court. On his own, the net rating plus the impact he has on his teammates' field goal percentages.
Okay, he attracts so
Statistically,
much defense. I guess makes opens up the floor.
exactly. He's like statistically, Steph Curry is the goat. Like, and he told me, he's like, dude, as a fan, I would pick Jordan or LeBron. But if I had to do a betting game and there was a game going on tomorrow, and I had to put like 5 players up, my first pick throughout everyone who's played in the NBA would be Steph.
Wow, that is unexpected. That is
So this is a
Yeah.
betting man who had like an 84% hit rate. Okay, got banned from Bet 365, got banned from all these platforms because of how much money he was raking in.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
these are some of the highlights of what happened in today's game with Steph. Guys, Steph showed us why he was the finals MVP. Now, obviously, he was injured for a lot of time, and Warriors have not won a lot of games. If not, he would be in the MVP conversation with the damn Giants. He just showed us why he's so valuable. So this game, the game started, pretty normally. Warriors, Pelicans were like there was a lot of lead changes going on. Then around the first quarter and second quarter, Pelicans pulled away. They hit a lot of shots. There were a lot of scuffles. Draymond was being Draymond,
Scuffle.
right?
That's a polite way of putting it. Okay, scuffle. Yeah.
Scuffle, yeah. Draymond was being Draymond.
Hmm.
And I mean, just to show how Draymond was being Draymond, let me just show you that as well. But basically, I was trying to get under the young team skin. Like Pelicans is a young team, and I think he did manage to get under their skin, where temporarily the team got into an adrenaline rush, and Pelicans actually pulled away from the Warriors temporarily.
Huh.
And I'm sure Draymond is really good at this. Like previously, you had Dennis Rodman who would do this, obviously for the Bulls. Uh, in like Draymond plays that role. He does this deliberately. He knows after he got his first technical, refs are not going to kick him out. Uh, like why
So,
the hell would you, right? He's one of the
yeah.
most entertaining players to watch, and I'm sure they have a mandate from the league that don't give double texts until and unless it's something absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So he first riled up Ingram, then he riled up Murphy, I think. Murphy, who by the way was killing it for the Pelicans. He was hitting every three he was taking, dude. I could not believe it. I was like, he was playing like
Yeah.
a splash brother.
Hmm.
So Draymond riled him up during the second quarter, and towards the end of the second quarter, and the third quarter after half time, for whatever reason, even though Pelicans built up a 20-point lead, I didn't feel that the Warriors had lost control of the game. Right,
Hmm.
it was just
Hmm.
that Pelicans hit continuous threes, and it's not like they did something crazy. The momentum was not in their way. And then third quarter comes along, and then, as I said, right, Steph Curry just shows you why he's
Yeah.
Steph Curry, and why like he's the most impactful player across history of all NBA players. Just took over the game. Not just him. Once Steph got it going, as
Yeah.
occasionally it so happens that you end up missing some shots. At that time, you had Warriors own version of, I think, Kevon Looney and Draymond Green together basically
The
act like
balance.
a act
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman for the Warriors.
Hmm.
So he got offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive. Like in a stretch of 4 possessions, I think he got an offensive rebound in every possession. So imagine what that does to the Pelican psyche.
Yeah. 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 Destroys them. Destroys them. Yeah.
And they just ran out of energy, dude. Like
Hmm.
in the third quarter, they ran out of energy. Although Warriors were still down, but they were just down from 20 points down. They were just down by 4 points by the end. And it only
Hmm.
happened because of back to back possessions where Kevon Looney, I'm just showing you the highlight right here. He's just getting rebound after rebound, rebound after rebound. Like in the same possession, he got 3 rebounds. I was like, what
uh,
and eventually the brothers are gonna hit,
yeah.
like, or the splash triplings or whatever you want to call it. And in the fourth quarter, if you guys didn't check it out, you saw Jordan Poole get to the basket multiple times, get easy layups, and
Hmm.
then Warriors just finished the game. So once that small adrenaline rush which I think the Pelicans had
Hmm.
when Raymond got under the skin, once that happened, throughout the whole game they just looked like they just looked tired.
Okay. Interesting. So it worked. Draymond Green
Yeah,
strategy worked.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure that's what he was thinking, man. Like if I were Draymond Green, that's what I would be thinking, because
Hmm.
he knows that he keeps getting under the ref's skin, and of course they don't want to kick him out. Like this was the highlights of the show. So Gopal, what do you think? How did you like this? You saw the match. What did you think of the
So
match?
yeah. So first off, thanks for the spoiler. I was just telling Nikhil that I had only watched till like the early third quarter,
Mhm.
but yeah. So I mean, I think it was a great game. And one more sort of fact I want to put out. yeah, which came up when I was watching the game is Kevon Looney is, I think, leading the league in
Offensive rebounds.
offensive rebounds, right? I would not have expected that. You expect that with Clint Capella, I
Right.
mean, but not with Kevon Looney. At least he goes under the radar as far as
Right.
being like the season leader. Any statistics is concerned. But yeah, also saying about the Warriors, right? Old people, man, we don't waste energy. Okay, we wait for the right moment. Unnecessary regular season में क्यों जीतना है भाई? See, because see, logic is if you think you're the best team in the world, and what you were talking about, which is very insightful by the way, because you
Right.
would imagine they want to secure the sixth seed simply
Right.
to be out of the plane, right? Just for
Right.
that. But I think your point about them wanting to face the Kings, I think
Right.
that's a very sophisticated point. And also the fact is, if you think you're the best and you're reserving your best for the playoffs, you just have to get into the playoffs, right? Same. That's the same logic with the Lakers that you keep talking about, right? They just need to
Right.
get into the playoffs, and then anything happens, right? Playoffs is a different beast, different creature.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
And especially in the playoffs, depending on the team you're matched up with, right? Depending on the
yeah.
team you're matched up with, I mean, like Warriors, especially match up with a lot of teams really well. One of the reasons they have lost is for whatever reason they can't figure it out on the road. If not, I mean, you look at their home games, dude, they're dominating teams. Like, there's no question this
Yeah.
team is the champion. I think on the road, I don't know, man. They're just like fuck it, like they're just mailing it in. They
It's
don't give a
some 929 or something on the road. Like, what is that, dude?
exactly. It's the worst record in the league or something.
I mean, what is it? They're not getting like the flights are not comfortable. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just seeing, isn't it like, have you ever seen such a drastic difference between home and away record? Like, there has to be some sort of parity, right? It's just weird.
Yeah, and it's not like on the home, right? They're having close games. They're blowing teams out, dude.
Hmm.
And on the road, they get blown out. Like, the fuck's going on? so this this was the Warriors Pelicans game. So
Yeah.
Gopal, you had another
Yeah, yeah. So
game. What?
I had beef. I don't know why I'm saying beef because even Samson Sandhu said it. It's like that seems to be like a theme alert, early theme alert. So I take it back. So my thing, Nikhil, I don't know how like how you watch where you watch the games, right? So for me, I'm a league pass guy. Okay, and what intrigued me, and this is something I'm trying to confirm with my sources in the NBA, is that I don't think on league pass you can actually watch live games.
No, you
Okay,
can.
I was not able to watch the Warriors game. So I think because it's being streamed on Geo and Viacom, I think those games were being streamed on Geo and Viacom may not. Maybe you can't watch it. So this is something I don't know. Maybe people who are watching this, if you think you can, or Nikhil yourself, I mean, can you watch games which are already being?
So
Uh,
I'll tell you this: I typically watch the games on Voot.
हाँ तो you're a Voot guy ना? I'm a League Pass guy. No, that's the difference. Voot पे आएगा, Voot पे आएगा, whatever. Geo पे आएगा, और
Oh,
MTV
Jio पे
also.
भी चल रहा है क्या?
हाँ हाँ,
So
yeah.
on Jio Cinema, it's there.
I think so because Geo and
Oh,
all.
I'm canceling my Voot subscription, dude. I don't care. Like,
Sorry, Woot. Sorry, Woot, for doing this to you.
so
But
so the League Pass, I'll tell you this: I bought it
हाँ,
last year, and I
hmm,
felt it was a waste of my money. I'll tell you why.
अरे,
Three reasons. First reason was the buffering speed was horrible. Okay, so the stream is always buffering on a live show, like on a live match, and I don't want that. Like, bloody someone's hit a game winner, and after the game winner is over, I'm watching it. I'm watching the fucking highlight on Twitter first, and then it's coming on the screen. I was like, what the fuck? This happened only on the NBA app. When I watched the same game on Voot, it played seamlessly. So I was like, it's very
hmm,
strange. Like, why is this happening? The second thing was I watched the NBA game on my smart TV, on my Android TV. I have a One Plus TV
हाँ,
and I watched on
okay.
that.
Hmm.
And for whatever reason, I can never get the app to work properly.
I
It's like
agree.
constantly
That I
coming
agree.
from
TV पे
stream.
नहीं आता है. The app doesn't load. I agree. हाँ.
So it's bloody. What I would do is I would play it on my phone and then I would cast it from my phone to the TV.
Wow, that's a pain.
So I was like, what the hell is this, dude? Like, I have a smart TV. Let me watch this. So that was my issue I had with the NBA app, and it's very surprising. I mean, guys, if you're struggling with building a good app, like just contact me. I'll connect you to some of the best software development agencies in Bangalore. Why the hell is your app so bad? Like, this is the NBA. It's like it's a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. Like, what the fuck? How can the app be so bad?
Yes. So that is one thing. The other one though, on a good side, I just noticed it seems to be a recent addition. is that now you can watch all the NBA Finals games from 1990 to 99. I
Yeah,
think
so
that's a good addition.
yeah, they added a lot of the vintage games. You can watch all of them.
Who's your favorite team from the 90s, Nikhil? Apart
Dude,
from the Bulls,
Rockets. Rockets.
Rockets. Ha, respect. अच्छी
Oh
बात
my
है.
god.
Respect. Yes.
Especially not the first Rockets team which beat the Knicks, the second Rockets team which was like the seventh seed. They won the championship with the seventh seed. Gopal can. It's like this year's Warriors. It's like their regular season. They're just mailing it in. They don't care. And then
Yeah, Hakeem is criminally underrated. I feel he's so
yeah,
criminally
absolutely,
underrated.
absolutely.
Right.
So guys, let's move on to our next segment. We
Okay.
have an incredible guest with us. Gopal, over to you.
Yes. So as I was saying at the start of this show, we have a very exciting guest who is a super fun, energetic guy who is actually joining us live from a tournament. Okay. So Nikhil,
Oh,
he's actually playing a tournament right now.
okay.
So he's there. Abhishek Tyagi. He burst on the national scene, and this is where I'm going to tell you the Saurav Ganguly comparison. Abhishek, you may not know, but you're like the Saurav Ganguly of Indian basketball. आपको पता है क्यों कह रहे हैं?
So let me just check if Abhishek can hear us first. Oh, I
हाँ.
think he got disconnected. So,
Okay.
guys, he'll join us back. So, tell me
हाँ.
a bit more about Abhishek and
Okay.
what he's doing.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a bit more about Abhishek. So how it works is that he started playing in the Delhi sort of state circuit. Okay, so he was part of the Delhi teams. Then he also started playing in 3BL. So Nikhil, I didn't mention this in the previous section, but India already has a 3x3 pro basketball league.
Okay.
Okay, so he plays in that, and he also plays for the Delhi Dominators
Okay.
in the Elite Pro Basketball League. So, guys, we had Sunny Bhandarkar, the Elite Pro Basketball League CEO, in our first episode. So, this is a
Right.
plug. Go watch episode 1 and let us know what you thought about Sunny and his plans. So, and in the Red Bull half court 3x3, Abhishek's team was a winner, and his celebration included removing his T-shirt and doing the whole sort of Ganguly. So, so so that's what sort of that was my first time I saw him play. Okay, he's super aggressive. Nikhil, he's your height,
Wow.
but luckily he does not have your athleticism.
I'm not athletic, dude.
That's what I'm saying. He does not have your.
Okay.
so,
Guys,
uh,
so
so
the only place I'm very athletic is when I'm counting notes. I count them really fast.
man, you're like such a stereotype Marwadi type statement. So yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I hope Abhishek can join us soon. But yeah, he's been playing a lot in the college basketball circuits. Very interestingly, he has represented not one but three different colleges, like Ramjas and Jamia
Okay.
in Delhi University, and now he's playing for Punjabi University, Patiala. So Nikhil, all these are like hardcore basketball colleges. They're like the Duke and all these other institutions. They're India's version of that. So he's
Wow.
there in that, and yeah, we're excited to have him, and I hope he can join us.
So let's see. Hopefully, he joins us. I was just checking out his Instagram profile, guys, and I
Hmm.
must say, like, I'm sure he's popular with the ladies as well.
Delhi guy who's a hooper who's popular with the ladies. I mean, that's a good stereotype to have.
Absolutely. So, Gopal, do you want to quickly? Oh, yeah, he's here. I think Abhishek's here. Hey, Abhishek, can you hear us?
हाय गोपाल, हाउ आर यू?
Okay, so we have the man right
नेटवर्क इशू
here.
ना थोड़ा यहाँ पे काफी है.
चलेगा
अरे
यार, कोई बात नहीं.
चलेगा नहीं, हम बता रहे थे कि आप पंजाब में हो ना, यू आर एट अ टूर्नामेंट राइट नाउ. तो थैंक यू अभिषेक, आपने अपना टाइम निकाला टूर्नामेंट के दौरान. तो जिनको पता नहीं होगा, मुझे सिर्फ ये पता है आप दिल्ली के लड़के हो, यू आर अ दिल्ली बॉय. तो आप बास्केटबॉल में कब से स्टार्ट किया आपने? कितने साल के थे आप? कैसे आपने खेलना शुरू किया बास्केटबॉल?
बास्केटबॉल मैंने स्कूल में स्टार्ट किया था. मैं ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल से पास आउट हूँ, दिल्ली में ही, बिलासपुरी से. तो 8th क्लास में मैंने बास्केटबॉल स्टार्ट किया था, 8th या 9th में. मेरे कोच थे, उन्होंने हम स्कूल पीरियड्स होते हैं जो हमारे रेगुलर पीरियड्स होते हैं, पीटी पीरियड्स, उनमें मैं खेलता था. तो उनको अच्छा लगा कि देखते थे, तो उन्होंने बोला कि आओ और ज्वाइन करो बास्केटबॉल. तो उनके साथ प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट करी. तो फिर ऐसे मेरा बास्केटबॉल स्टार्ट हुआ था. तो घर से मेरा थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम थी, बोलते थे कि नहीं जाना, पढ़ाई खराब होगी. तो लेकिन फिर ये था कि नहीं, खेलना है अपने को. तो
सही है.
फिर बड़ी दिक्कत हुई, लेकिन फिर मेरे कोच ने मुझे इतना वो किया, वो बोलते थे कि जिस दिन तू नहीं आया, उसने उन्होंने एक स्पेशल चाइल्ड को, मॉनिटर को मेरे पीछे लगाया था कि मुझे बताना जिस दिन ये प्रैक्टिस पे नहीं आएगा तो उसको मेरे पास लेके आना क्लास में तुरंत।
ओके ओके, सही है।
तो
सो
ऐसे स्टार्ट हुआ था खेलना, और फिर वो टाइम है कि जब से और अब तक रेगुलर ही है, अब तो नहीं छोड़ा मैंने।
सो
9-10 से
बेसिकली
रेगुलर हो
बास्केटबॉल
गया था।
आपके रूटीन का एक पार्ट बन गया है।
रूटीन लाइफ का ही पार्ट बन गया है वैसे तो। लेकिन अभी तो रेगुलर बस बास्केटबॉल ही है।
सही है, सही है। सो फैमिली में आपसे कोई
मैं विजिबल हूँ, नेटवर्क सही आ रहा है।
नहीं, आप क्लियरली विजिबल हो अभिषेक जी। सो अभिषेक
ओके।
जी, आपके फैमिली में से कोई भी स्पोर्ट्स में था? क्योंकि रिलेटिवली स्पीकिंग इंडियन एवरेज हाइट है,
हाँ,
एवरेज मेन हाइट है 5'8" और
मेरी
आप
हाइट।
हो 6, हाँ, और आप हो 6'2", सो ऑटोमेटिकली ओवर द एवरेज आप ऑलरेडी आधा फुट ज्यादा हो। मैं भी बाय द वे 6'2" हूँ, तो इसीलिए पूछ रहा हूँ कि आपकी फैमिली में
ओके।
कोई भी स्पोर्ट्स खेलता था, या ऐसा कुछ बैकग्राउंड है आपका कि आपने खुद ही स्टार्ट किया है?
नहीं, कोई प्रोफेशनली स्पोर्ट्स नहीं खेलता मेरे फैमिली में। मेरे डैड दिल्ली पुलिस में है, तो वही है कि बस उनको थोड़ा शौक खेलने का, तो वो ही खेलते थे ग्राउंड पर, मतलब कभी कभी बास्केटबॉल नहीं खेलते थे, वॉलीबॉल खेलते थे।
ओके।
तो लेकिन प्रोफेशनली कभी कोई बैकग्राउंड में आज तक कोई प्लेयर नहीं है, मतलब हमारी फैमिली में। मैं फर्स्ट टीम में जो अभी खेल रहा हूँ बास्केटबॉल।
बढ़िया।
हाँ, तो आपको लगा कभी कि पहली बार कब लगा आपको कि आप में ये टैलेंट है? क्योंकि खेलते तो सब है, लेकिन आपको याद है जो टूर्नामेंट आपने खेला, जो जो स्पेशल गेम जो कहते हैं ना, जो सारे प्लेयर्स को याद होगा, जो पहली बार जैसे क्रिस पॉल ने एक बार आई थिंक 63 पॉइंट स्कोर किया था एक हाई स्कूल गेम में, तो आपका ऐसा कुछ मेमोरी है जो पहला टूर्नामेंट या पहला गेम जिसमें आपको लगा कि भाई मैं तो तोड़ दूंगा, ये कंपटीशन है ही नहीं मेरे लिए? Oh man, I asked such a good question. यार निखिल, I think network issues.
मतलब ऐसा था,
हाँ, go ahead.
बोलिए
मैंने
अभिषेक जी।
प्रोफेशनली बास्केटबॉल खेला।
सो गाइस,
स्कूल में।
सॉरी अ लिटिल बिट,
हाँ,
अभिषेक
हेलो,
जी आपका थोड़ा
आई एम
नेटवर्क
ऑडिबल।
थोड़ा डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था। वापस ये जो गोपाल ने आपको पूछा है उसका
हेलो,
जवाब आप स्टार्टिंग से दे सकते हो?
मतलब बास्केटबॉल कैसे स्टार्ट किया
नहीं नहीं नहीं,
प्रोफेशनली?
जो आपको पहली बार कब लगा कि आप में टैलेंट है, आपका पहला जो बढ़िया सा गेम या टूर्नामेंट आपको याद है?
अच्छा, पहली बार मुझे लगा कॉलेज में, मैं जब सेकेंड ईयर में था। मैं उससे पहले मैं प्रोफेशनली खेलता भी नहीं था, मुझे इंजरी वगैरह थी, तो मैं उतना खेला, मैंने सेकेंड ईयर में ही स्टार्ट किया था अच्छे से खेलना अपने कॉलेज के। तो उस टाइम हमारी टीम, रामजस की टीम उतनी अच्छी नहीं थी। अ, ऐसा बोला जाता है कि रामजस की टीम को कोई भी साउथ कैंपस की टीम हरा सकती है, ऐसे बोलते थे।
हाँ
क्योंकि नॉर्थ कैंपस एक ऐसा है कि नॉर्थ कैंपस में सब टीम अच्छी होती हैं, लेकिन नॉर्थ कैंपस में रामजस की टीम ऐसी बोलते थे कि इनको कोई भी हरा देगा।
हाँ
तो फिर हमारा जो बैच आया था, हम 4-5 लड़के काफी सही थे। तो वो बैच जो था हमारा, हमने थर्ड ईयर में अपने इतना अच्छा किया कि हमने इंटर कॉलेज और सबको, मोस्टली सबको हराया हमने। सब टूर्नामेंट्स में हमने इंटर कॉलेज भी गोल्ड, 100 ईयर्स में रामजस का गोल्ड आया था वो
वाओ
इंटर कॉलेज में।
वाओ वाओ वाओ।
100 साल, और उस टाइम 2017 में 100 ईयर था रामजस का। 100 साल रामजस के पूरे हुए थे, और 100 साल में ही रामजस का फर्स्ट टाइम गोल्ड आया था इंटर कॉलेज में बास्केटबॉल में। तो वो काफी सही मोमेंट था। तो उस टाइम हमने रेगुलर 9 गेम जीते थे, और हमारी एवरेज हाइट 6'2" थी टीम में, और हमने सबको हराया था,
वाओ
सबको। तो उस टाइम मुझे लगा था कि हाँ, कि हम खेल सकते हैं। और वो मेरे उसमें 2-3 गेम ऐसे ऐसे थे कि हम बहुत सही खेले थे। हमने हिंदू की टीम में बुल्लर भी था जो इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर था, अभी तो नहीं खेल रहा है वो। और मतलब काफी प्लेयर्स थे जिनको आप जानते होंगे, जो उस टाइम अच्छी टीम हुआ करती थी नॉर्थ कैंपस में। केएमसी हमेशा टॉप टीम रहती थी, हमने केएमसी को फाइनल्स में हराया था।
वाओ
25 पॉइंट से, 23 पॉइंट से हमने फाइनल हराया था केएमसी को। तो
वाओ।
वो टाइम से हम काफी बूस्ट हो गए थे कि हाँ, हमें खेलना है। और उस टाइम से मुझे लगा था कि हाँ मैं बास्केटबॉल खेल सकता हूँ और मैं अच्छा कर सकता हूँ बास्केटबॉल में। वो
सो
था कि हाँ अब हम सबको
तो बेसिकली जब आपने बड़े बड़े टीम को हरा दिया तब नेक्स्ट
बिल्कुल।
नेक्स्ट अभिषेक जी, सो बास्केटबॉल ही क्यों, दूसरे स्पोर्ट्स आपने ट्राई किया था, आई एम श्योर आप काफी लाइक बास्केटबॉल वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एथलेटिक स्पोर्ट है, तो दूसरे स्पोर्ट में भी आप आसानी से
एग्जैक्टली।
यू कैन कम्पीट, तो व्हाई डिड यू एंड अप चूजिंग बास्केटबॉल?
बास्केटबॉल इसलिए चूज किया क्योंकि हमारे स्कूल में सिर्फ एक ही गेम था, बास्केटबॉल।
लव इट, लव इट। ये कौन सा स्कूल है, कौन सा स्कूल है? ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल। ओके, ऑक्सफोर्ड स्कूल, शाउट आउट टू ऑक्सफोर्ड मैन, ओनली बास्केटबॉल, आई लव इट।
हमारे पास 2 कोर्ट्स हैं।
हाँ,
हाँ,
मतलब दिल्ली में हमारा अच्छा स्कूल है और हमारे जोन में हमारा स्कूल ही बेस्ट था बास्केटबॉल में। और मतलब ऐसा कुछ था नहीं कि मुझे बास्केटबॉल खेलना है, बस हमारे स्कूल में मुझे गेम खेलना था और एक ही गेम था, बास्केटबॉल। तो मैं उसमें घुस गया और फिर आपको आगे का पता ही है। यहाँ तक आ गया। कॉलेज में आया तो फिर कुछ नया स्पोर्ट्स चूज नहीं करना था, और स्कूल में होता है कि कोई भी स्पोर्ट्स आप देख लो। तो एक ही गेम था, बास्केटबॉल। वही मतलब मेन उसमें ही बास्केटबॉल की प्रैक्टिस हुआ करती थी, बास्केटबॉल की कोचेज से बास्केटबॉल ही चलता था सिर्फ। और सब टूर्नामेंट और सब स्कूल, सब टीचर, सब बास्केटबॉल के प्लेयर्स को सब अच्छे से जानते थे। एक हाइप होती थी हमारे स्कूल में बास्केटबॉल
तो आपने ये बहुत सही
प्लेयर्स की,
बोला,
काफी
इसके बारे में मेरे को एक और
सही।
सवाल पूछना है आपको कि मैंने कभी ये दिल्ली का जो बास्केटबॉल कल्चर है इतना बड़ा है, मेरे को पता नहीं था, तो मेरे जैसे बंदों को दिल्ली के बास्केटबॉल कल्चर के बारे में आप क्या बोलना चाहोगे?
वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग। हेलो।
सो अभिषेक जी, मैं सवाल रिपीट करता हूँ। तो मेरे जैसे बंदे, मैं जनरली बास्केटबॉल बस एनबीए फॉलो करता हूँ, मेरे को पता भी नहीं था लोकल इंडियन सीन इतना स्ट्रांग है, और इंडिया में
ओके।
दिल्ली का बास्केटबॉल कल्चर बहुत स्ट्रांग है। तो उसके बारे में मेरे जैसे बंदों को जो इसके बारे में जानते नहीं है ज्यादा ज्यादा कुछ, क्या बताना चाहोगे दिल्ली का जो बास्केटबॉल सीन है, जो कल्चर है, उसके बारे में?
दिल्ली का बास्केटबॉल कल्चर अच्छा है, काफी सही है। और अभी थोड़ा आफ्टर कोरोना थोड़ा दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का थोड़ा कम हो गया है अब, कि उतना अच्छा मतलब नहीं है, टैलेंट उतना अच्छा नहीं है। पहले बहुत 94, 95, 96 जो हमारे बैचेस थे,
हम्म।
जो वो काफी अच्छे थे। उस टाइम कॉम्पिटिशन भी काफी अच्छा था। लेकिन अभी जो है बेस्ट टीम जामिया में है, वो दिल्ली में जामिया है, जामिया मिलिया इस्लामिया, जो यूनिवर्सिटी की बेस्ट टीम है। और बाकी काफी डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं जो दिल्ली में पोस्टेड हैं। आपका राज राइफल है, आपका इनकम टैक्स है दिल्ली की, रेलवेज है, और राजरेट,
और ये जो
सिग्नल्स,
टीम्स है
एयरपोर्ट, तो
इनमें
काफी टीम है।
कंपटीशन कितना स्ट्रांग है? झगड़े वगड़े होते हैं क्या आउट द कोर्ट?
काफी नहीं, सब प्रोफेशनल टीम्स हैं, तो ऑफ द कोर्ट तो इतना सबकी अपनी अपनी लाइफ है, इंडिविजुअल लाइफ है, तो इतना कुछ नहीं पता। लेकिन कंपटीशन तो अच्छा है दिल्ली में। ऐसा नहीं है कि आप इजीली अपनी जगह बना लोगे। यू वांट टू प्रूव कि हाँ तुम खेलते हो, अच्छा खेलते हो, तो ही आप अपनी जगह बनाओगे नेशनल टीम में। तो मैं अभी लास्ट 3-4 ईयर से दिल्ली नेशनल टीम को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ, सीनियर नेशनल टीम को। इस साल मैं करंट जो उदयपुर नेशनल मैं कैप्टन भी था दिल्ली टीम का, नेशनल टीम का।
ओके, सो गोपाल।
हाँ। तो
तो
अभिषेक जब,
ये है कि आपको
हाँ,
रेगुलर परफॉर्मेंस देनी होती है, हमारे टूर्नामेंट्स होते हैं।
हाँ, तो अभिषेक, तो ये आपने मुझे पिछले साल बताया था कि जॉब्स मिलने में बास्केटबॉल में काफी दिक्कत होती है, स्पेशली कोविड के टाइम। तो आपका अब सिचुएशन जो नौकरी का है, थोड़ा प्रेशर कम हो गया, क्योंकि आप तो अभी खेल रहे हो ईपीबीएल में, आपने 3बीएल में भी खेला है। तो अब सिचुएशन क्या है कि अगर आपको बास्केटबॉल से एक प्रोफेशनली करियर बनाना है, तो सिचुएशन बेटर हो गया कि अभी काफी दिक्कतें हैं?
हम्म, सब पर्सनली मेरे लिए तो मुझे काफी मतलब प्रॉब्लम लग रही है, क्योंकि जो मेरा मेन टाइम था जब मुझे ज्वाइन करना था, वो जब मेरे पास करंट मेडल भी था 2019 में, फिर 19 में मेरा नॉर्दर्न रेलवे में नहीं हो पाया था। हम टॉप 3 में था, लेकिन मेरा ही फ्रेंड है आयुष शर्मा, जो अभी नॉर्दर्न रेलवे में है, हम दोनों साथ में हमने ट्राई आउट दिया था, तो उसका हो गया था। तो मैं खुश था कि उसका हो गया, नेक्स्ट ईयर मैं ट्राई करूंगा। तो लेकिन आफ्टर मतलब कोविड आ गया 20 में, तो पूरे 2 साल जो मेरा 23 से मैं 23 इयर्स का था और मैं 25 26 का हो गया आफ्टर कोविड। तो कोविड में तो वैकेंसी निकली नहीं है, और आफ्टर कोविड भी रेलवेज ने, मैंने बात भी करी तो रेलवेज वालों ने मुझे नहीं मतलब एज रिलैक्सेशन नहीं दिया कोविड का, कि हम आपको एज रिलैक्सेशन नहीं दे सकते, ये गवर्नमेंट का रूल है, रेलवेज का बोर्ड का रूल है। तो उसकी वजह से मुझे काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम हुई थी, मैं घर में बैठा रहा था कोविड में, बहुत सोचता रहा। मैं 1 साल इंजरी में रहा पूरा, और मतलब मैं आपको क्या बोलूँ कि मैं एक तरह से डिप्रेशन में चला गया था कि मैं क्या करूँ, मैं छोड़ दूँ खेलना या, क्योंकि जॉब है नहीं है, और तो इस काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम हुई थी इस चीज़ से। लेकिन मैंने फिर ओवरकम किया कि ऐसे तो नहीं हो सकता है कि अब बैठे रहो, जो होगा अच्छा ही होता है। तो फिर इंजरी के बाद मुझे काफ़ी सही मिला, मैं रेड बुल भी खेलने गया, फिर रेड बुल हम नेशनल जीते, फिर हम रेड बुल इजिप्ट गए इंडिया खेलने, वहाँ से मुझे काफ़ी बूस्ट मिला। फिर एलीट प्रो बास्केटबॉल लीग हुआ, नेशनल हुआ, फिर सब में मेरा सिलेक्शन होता चला गया। लेकिन अभी भी जॉब का तो अभी भी मेरा कुछ भी क्लेरिफाई नहीं है। मैंने काफ़ी जगह वैकेंसीज मैंने फिल किया हुआ है जॉब के लिए, तो देखते हैं कि कुछ पॉजिटिव रिस्पांस आता है नहीं आता है। अभी
ओके।
इनकम टैक्स है और कस्टम्स है, इन सब में मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ। मेरा इसमें भी लास्ट ईयर है मेरा ये वाला, अगर ज्वाइन होता है तो ठीक है, नहीं तो आई एम डूइंग माई मास्टर्स इन फिजिकल एजुकेशन, तो उसमें कुछ अच्छा करेंगे लाइफ में। और बाकी खेलना तो है ही प्रोफेशनली, तो एलीट प्रो बास्केटबॉल लीग बहुत सही चीज़ आ गई है, तो ये चीज़ चल गई तो फिर कोई जरूरत भी नहीं है जॉब वॉब की अगर क्योंकि सन्नी और कौस्तुभ दोनों बहुत सही लोग हैं यार, वो बहुत सही कर रहे हैं कम्युनिटी के लिए ये चीज़ लेके। लेकिन कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, देखते हैं बीएफआई और इनका सॉर्ट होता है नहीं होता है क्या होता है।
हम्म।
होपफुली हम तो बस प्रे कर रहे हैं कि सब अच्छा हो जाए।
So actually, again, Gopal, you know this is. I'm not sure कि इंडियन, मेरे को पता भी नहीं था कि इंडियन बास्केटबॉल में प्रोफेशनल लीग है। तो एज अ प्रोफेशनल बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर इंडिया में, लाइक हाउ डज इट वर्क, कैसा है एक प्रोफेशनल बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर का इंडिया में? हाउ इज योर लाइफ? डू यू हैव, आपके पास एजेंट्स है, मैनेजर्स है, स्पॉन्सर्स है क्या? लाइक हाउ डज इट वर्क? थोड़ा समझा सकते हो?
इंडिया में अभी तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है कि आपके पास पर्सनल आपके मैनेजर्स हैं, आपका सब कुछ है कि जो आपको हैंडल कर रहे हैं। आपको खुद ही करना है अपने लिए, जो भी करना है आपको खुद ही सब कुछ करना है। मतलब ऐसे पर्सनली कुछ भी नहीं है कि आपको कोई आपके लिए खड़ा है कि आप यहाँ पे ट्राई आउट दो या आप यहाँ आए। अभी एलीट प्रो बास्केटबॉल लीग आई है, बस फर्स्ट अभी इनका प्री सीजन हुआ है। तो ये एक प्रो लीग है जो इससे पहले यूवीए थी जो बंद हो गई थी, अभी यही एक प्रो लीग है जो अभी स्टार्ट हुई है। तो अब देखते हैं इसमें कैसा प्रोसेस रहता है। तो अभी तक तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि इंडिया में थोड़ा है, उतना अच्छा नहीं है, ग्रोइंग है इंडिया में अभी बास्केटबॉल का कल्चर, ग्रो कर रहा है। लेकिन इतना पता है कि आने वाले टाइम में काफी अच्छा हो जाएगा बास्केटबॉल का। अभी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, अभी स्ट्रगलिंग है बहुत, एथलीट्स को स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता है। कुछ एथलीट्स हैं जो कभी अच्छा खेलते हैं लेकिन कभी ऊपर नहीं आ पाते हैं काफी चीजों की वजह से।
राइट।
तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम
हाँ।
होती है, एथलीट्स
तो
को काफी प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ती है।
हाँ हाँ, तो अभिषेक, ये मेरा सवाल है आपसे, क्योंकि दिल्ली, मैंने देखा काफी सारे नेशनल्स में देखता रहता हूँ, क्योंकि दिल्ली बहुत ही छोटी स्टेट है, और नेशनल्स में हम देखते हैं दिल्ली ऑलवेज लेवल 2 से लेवल 1 तक आके वापस लेवल 2, वो थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है। तो आपको क्या लगता है? और एट द सेम टाइम दिल्ली में फैसिलिटीज भी बहुत बहुत बढ़िया है, क्योंकि इट इज इंडिया का कैपिटल है। तो आपके हिसाब से दिल्ली को क्या करना चाहिए कि नेशनल्स में इम्प्रूव परफॉर्मेंस हो? आपको क्या लगता है, क्या क्या करना चाहिए दिल्ली को?
सबसे पहली चीज तो जो है दिल्ली में हमें ना एक, जो हमारी दिल्ली बास्केटबॉल एसोसिएशन है, उनको कैंप्स लगाने चाहिए प्रॉपर प्रॉपर
हम्म।
हमारा नेशनल से 10 दिन पहले कैंप लगता है, 10 दिन 15 दिन पहले कैंप लगता है। और
हम्म।
सब प्लेयर्स, कोई इनकम टैक्स का है, एक प्लेयर सीआईएसएफ का है, 2 प्लेयर जामिया के हैं, 2 प्लेयर कहीं, मतलब ऐसे 12 प्लेयर्स हम सेलेक्ट होते हैं, टॉप 12 प्लेयर्स हो गए सेलेक्ट, सब अपनी जगह से अच्छे हैं, बेस्ट हैं। लेकिन बास्केटबॉल जो गेम है वो कोऑर्डिनेशन का है, और सब कुछ टीम वर्क है, सारा टीम वर्क है। तो जब तक वो टीम में यूनिटी नहीं होगी और टीम बॉन्डिंग नहीं होगी तो वो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। तो सबसे मेन चीज तो है हमारा साल में बीच में जो कैंप्स लगते रहेंगे अगर सबके साथ में, तो उस चीज से बहुत फर्क पड़ेगा। क्योंकि जो साउथ में इस टाइम ऐसे ही होता है कि वो लोग कैंप्स लगाते रहते हैं और उनका जो है पूरे साल वो साथ खेलते हैं, तो उस चीज से बहुत फर्क पड़ता है। और उनके पास स्पॉन्सर भी हैं काफी अच्छे इस टाइम, जो उनको तो कैंप्स होते हैं, लेकिन कैंप्स में भी हमें खुद कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं मिलती है, खुद ही हम घर से आते हैं। एक वन टाइम प्रैक्टिस होती है, हमारा खुद ही ट्रैवलिंग एक्सपेंस, डेली एक्सपेंस, फूड का एक्सपेंस सब खुद ही है, और जाते हैं। तो ऐसे 10 दिन का कैंप लगता है बस। और थोड़ा दिल्ली में अभी हाइट की प्रॉब्लम है, मतलब मेन चीज़ है बास्केटबॉल में हाइट। हमारे पास आपको पता है हाइट की थोड़ी दिक्कत है, हाइट सिर्फ साउथ में और एक पंजाब में है। तो दिल्ली ऊपर जाने के लिए नेशनल लेवल पे आपको थोड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम चाहिए हाइट के साथ, तो हम उसमें थोड़ा पीछे हो जाते हैं। अभी इस साल देख रहे हैं हम, शायद हमारे पास एक दो हाइट तो है, आर्यन है हमारे पास करंट इंडियन प्लेयर,
हाँ, करेक्ट।
लेकिन वो थोड़ा अभी उसको और इम्प्रूव करना है, उसको थोड़ा इम्प्रूव करना है, देखते हैं। और अभी एक दो और लड़कों ने आए हैं, अभी सियासत में नए लड़कों ने ज्वाइन किया है जो अच्छी हाइट है, और एक दो लड़के जामे में भी आए हैं, तो देखते हैं इस साल क्या होता है।
ओके।
ओके,
टीम
सो
अच्छी बनाएंगे
नेक्स्ट
हम।
अभिषेक जी, हमारा एक सेगमेंट है जिसका नाम है किक्स की कहानी। सो ये है आपके बेस्ट बास्केटबॉल शूज के बारे में, बेस्ट बास्केटबॉल किक्स के बारे में। कौन सा शू आप पसंद करते हो, कौन सा आपका ड्रीम शू है, और कौन सा आप करेंटली यूज करते हो?
करंटली तो मैं अभी यानिस एनेडेकम्पो यूज कर रहा हूँ, जो उनके अभी लेटेस्ट आए थे यानिस, वो यूज कर रहा हूँ। बहुत अच्छा शूज है, लाइट शूज है, लाइट वेट है, बहुत सही शूज है। और ड्रीम शूज तो मेरे को मेरा फेवरेट प्लेयर स्टेफन करी है NBA में, तो मुझे तो
सो
स्टेफन करी है मेरा फेवरेट, और मैं उनको ही फॉलो करता हूँ। उनकी तरह ही ट्राई करते हैं कि शूटिंग हो पाए, इम्प्रूव हो पाए जितना हो सकता है, तो
एक्चुअली
फॉलो करता हूँ। और मेरा शूज भी फेवरेट।
उन्हीं का है।
यस यस।
सो आपके लिए एक और क्वेश्चन है, बिकॉज आपने बोला स्टेफ करी आपका फेवरेट प्लेयर है, तो आपका रेंज कितना है?
ऑलवेज यू आस्क द रेंज क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, हाँ रेंज, हाँ।
बिकॉज पहले पहले स्टेफ करी के पहले सब पूछते थे कि भाई तू डंक कर सकता है कि नहीं। उसका अब फायदा ही नहीं है यार, मेरे को 3 चाहिए, 2 पॉइंट्स चाहिए ही नहीं। कितने दूर से आप लगा, यू नो
रेवोल्यूशन, रेवोल्यूशन आ चुका है।
सो आपका रेंज लाइक 3 पॉइंट्स लाइन से कितने स्टेप्स दूर आप शॉट कंसिस्टेंटली शूट कर सकते हो?
3 पॉइंट रेंज से 3 to 4 स्टेप्स पीछे,
वाओ,
लाइक 30 फीट, 35 फीट,
वाओ,
वाओ।
30 फीट से मैं कर सकता हूँ।
so that's awesome, Abhishek. Like that's pretty good range.
No, and Nikhil, he actually plays a post position, because Delhi is so undersized. He actually
Oh,
plays as a forward. No, so I didn't know. I was honestly not. अभी मुझे पता नहीं था कि आपके पास इतना रेंज है, क्योंकि जब भी मैंने आपको खेलते हुए देखा है, आप तो पोस्ट में खेलते हो, आप फिजिकल खेलते हो अंडर द बास्केट, तो ये मुझे भी पता नहीं था।
मैं मैं हाँ,
so
ठीक है।
like in match
आई
consistently
एम अ
आपने
शूटिंग
कभी
गार्ड,
इतना
मैं
दूर
शूटिंग
से
गार्ड
शॉट
खेलता हूँ
लिया है
वैसे तो।
अभिषेक जी?
कंसिस्टेंटली मतलब हाँ लिए, अटेम्प्ट्स लिए हैं, लेकिन रेगुलर नहीं लिए कि 5 6 7 ऐसे नहीं,
Okay.
एक दो लिए हैं, गए भी हैं, वापस भी गए हैं।
Right. So over to you, Gopal.
ठीक है, अभिषेक जी, हम वी आर गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट सेक्शन, ठीक है। इसका नाम है 2-on-1। हम दो वर्सेस आप, क्योंकि आप तो सीरियस प्रोफेशनल प्लेयर हो और हम दोनों ने तो आई थिंक डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल भी खेला नहीं है, तो आई थिंक ये फेयर मैच होगा। और वैसे भी आप तो हमें हराओगे, तो ये 2-on-1 जो है ये है रैपिड फायर। तो आपको बिना सोचे हम 5 सवाल पूछेंगे आपसे, ओके, रेस टू 5। तो 5 पॉइंट गेम है ये, तो
ओके
आपको बिना सोचे
ओके
आपको बस
ओके।
जवाब देना है, ठीक है। तो पहला सवाल 2-on-1, ठीक है। 3x3 या 5-on-5?
3x3।
Wow. I told you, bro, Gopal, I told you 3x3 is catching fire. Next favorite shot basketball में आपका? Like your go-to move,
Favorite shot?
consistently go-to क्या है आपका favorite shot?
3-pointer and turn around.
Oh, turn around 3.
No, not together. Not together. He said 3-pointer and turn around. I didn't think he didn't say turn around 3-pointer.
Okay, next. Gopal.
नेक्स्ट तो दिल्ली का बेस्ट कोर्ट कौन सा है?
Network.
हाँ,
So,
सुनाई दे रहा है आपको?
Hello.
सुनाई दे रहा है अभिषेक?
Yes. Third question.
हाँ,
Yes,
तो
third question.
दिल्ली का बेस्ट बास्केटबॉल कोर्ट कौन सा है?
Best basketball court. इंदिरा गांधी स्टेडियम, IGI स्टेडियम में ही 2 वुडन कोर्ट हैं, वही सही है.
सही है. ओके. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. तो अगर एक चीज इंडियन बास्केटबॉल में इंप्रूव होनी चाहिए, सिर्फ एक चीज अगर इंडियन बास्केटबॉल में इंप्रूव होनी चाहिए, वो क्या होगी?
Your voice is breaking.
हाँ, सुनाई दे रहा है? कैन यू हियर मी?
हाँ, so Abhishek ji, I'll just repeat
ये
his
हॉस्टल
question.
मैं
अगर
एक्चुअली मैं हॉस्टल में हूँ और ना यहाँ पे नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम
no
काफी
problem, no problem.
है.
अगर एक चीज इंडियन बास्केटबॉल में इंप्रूव करना है तो वो क्या होगा? अभिषेक जी, अगर एक चीज इंडियन बास्केटबॉल में आपको इंप्रूव करनी है तो वो क्या होगा? बस एक चीज.
एक्सपोजर. एक्सपोजर.
देसी बॉलर पॉडकास्ट इसीलिए चालू किया है.
सही किया आपने. ये पॉडकास्ट होना चाहिए यार. लोगों को पता लगना चाहिए कि सबकी प्रॉब्लम्स क्या हैं और कैसे इम्प्रूव होना होगा. ये तो आप जैसे लोग हैं वही ऐसा कर सकते हैं और वही कुछ चेंज लेके आएंगे कम्युनिटी में.
So
बास्केटबॉल कम्युनिटी
अभिषेक
को
जी
ऐसे ही हम
लास्ट.
सबको मिल के आगे लेके जाना है.
एब्सोल्युटली. अभिषेक जी लास्ट सवाल आपके लिए. इस साल एनबीए कौन जीतेगा?
माय ऑल टाइम फेवरेट वॉरियर्स, लेकिन वो अभी थोड़ा डाउन चल रहे हैं.
मैं भी वॉरियर्स का बड़ा फैन हूँ.
लेट्स सी.
यार नगेट्स कोई नहीं यार. डेनवर नगेट्स गाइस, डेनवर
मेरी
नगेट्स.
फेवरेट है मेरा नगेट्स. नगेट्स प्लेऑफ्स में तो हमेशा अच्छा करती है. प्लेऑफ्स कह रहा हूँ, रेगुलर सीजन में प्लेऑफ्स में अच्छा खेलते हैं, लेकिन मेन है प्लेऑफ्स के बाद कॉन्फ्रेंस में और सब में वो नहीं हो पाता अपना अच्छा. पिछली बार उनका मेन वो क्या नाम है, वो भी इंजर्ड था.
राइट.
हाँ,
माइकल पॉटर जूनियर लास्ट ईयर. So Abhishek ji, thank you so much for coming on. Guys, please follow Abhishek
नगेट्स में था ना.
on 6797. Thank you so much Abhishek ji.
अभिषेक जी, थैंक यू
So much you invited me.
Great. Guys, do follow Abhishek at Instagram at Abhishek6797. I'm sure you'll see some awesome basketball reels. Thank you so much Abhishek ji.
थैंक
Guys,
यू.
let's move on to our next segment.
Okay. No, he's a fun guest. So this is always good to have, and Nikhil, these are like genuine grassroots guys, who have come up the hard way. And at 6'2", obviously they're not. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you have a 7-footer, then it's like the system becomes easy for you, right? But if you're 6'2", then you have to earn every level of representation. So the fact that someone who is 6'2" and he's playing pro, and the important thing is he didn't feel down, Nikhil. Like basketball can really get you down. I've been in the same place as him, right? You feel like giving up. You're like, bhai, kya point kya hai? Matlab, kyun kare ye? Matlab, there's the risk to reward ratio. It's not even a ratio. It's like infinite. Only risk, no reward. So I'm glad for him that he was able to persevere. What are your thoughts on Nikhil, on him and Delhi basketball and on yours? Because even you're learning about Indian basketball through this, right?
Yeah, so this was very interesting for me. I didn't know that there was so much financial constraint. Because look, I'll tell you why I'm bringing this up. That in India, I told this to you, I think,
Yeah.
just a few months back. There is, on average, 4 million searches a month about NBA and basketball.
Whoa.
Right, so that's 40 lakh people, and I thought that's a big enough audience to support various basketball communities.
Hmm.
So it's very surprising ki, like simple things like getting good sponsors या फिर कोई अच्छा manager या ऐसा कुछ इतना problem होता है. So from that standpoint, I'm very surprised. ये scene है. Let's see. Let's take Lavia also try to make sure we contribute as much as possible to solve this problem. But the second part, which was very interesting, was I want to ask you a little bit more about this.
Hmm.
कि ये बोल रहा था कि income tax department पे और banks में he was applying for a job. So can you tell me a little bit more about that? I didn't understand what was he talking about.
Yeah. So all these in India, all these public sector institutions, right? You have income tax, and you have these public sector banks,
Hmm.
railways,
Right.
right? Punjab police, Delhi police. I don't even think the Delhi police hires. So, right. So there are all these different departments. So they
Right.
put out these circulars and notices
Hmm.
on a frequent basis. You can say every year there are these notices that are put out,
Hmm.
and then they invite players for tryouts. Okay,
Okay.
and depending on the and you have points. Say for example, now if you have played at the All India University level, right?
Hmm.
So you say you're like in his case, the
Hmm.
first level for him is to play for his college, right? Make it to his college team.
Okay.
Then based on that, they play these inter-college matches within Delhi University.
Hmm.
Then based on that, they pick the overall Delhi University team, and
Okay.
then this Delhi University team perhaps will play in these bigger competitions, right? So and if you finish in the medals, right,
Right.
you get certain weightage, and if you play in the nationals and your team finishes in the top three, you get certain like a points weightage, and then you also have tryouts, right?
Right.
So his point is, and this is something he brought up with me also last year, because of COVID,
Right.
if you have graduated during COVID,
Hmm.
no one is recruiting, right? None of these places are, and then and the thing issue with him is that there's no age relaxation.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so it's really sad. Like it's a once in a 100-year pandemic. So a lot of these, even players, for example, if you're playing in your school, if you haven't had a chance to play under 16, imagine that. I know that jaan hai to jahan hai and all that, okay, but the fact is you lost a chance. You can't play under 16, right? So just imagine that has an effect throughout that player's career, even if he has to play, get a job. So
Right.
all those players who lost a chance to play for their states and the nationals, right, and
Right.
win medals. That so we have lost a generation potentially.
Right.
That's
Wow.
freaky, man. That's like 200 players who have literally lost that opportunity.
That's really sad. So and so he can actually get a job just by having played basketball at different levels. And what do these companies do? Like when they hire these folks, like what do they play basketball and they have a job, or how does it work?
So it depends. So some of these companies are pretty strict. Okay, so
Hmm.
they will say you actually have to come to office.
Hmm.
Okay, you have to report at say 10 o'clock, and then you're allowed to leave earlier. Okay, so you can leave by maybe 4 o'clock, and then
Okay.
you go practice. There are others. Literally, you just have to
So when you
sign.
say go practice, what are they practicing for? Like what tournament?
Okay, so they are, see, it's like they have been hired by that company, right? So you're representing the company. So India, this is a very interesting thing. So we don't, historically we've never had leagues. So we have
Right.
something called All India Invitational Tournaments.
Okay.
Okay, so railways, Punjab Police, ONGC, Indian Overseas Bank, the 7, 8, 9, 10 teams, Bank of Baroda, they all keep playing in these different tournaments across India. Okay, and these tournaments are like 70, 80 years old. Okay, really old tournaments. So you play
Right.
in these 10, 20 different tournaments, you're representing your employer. So that is the incentive for the employer, right? That we are the national champions. So that's
Okay.
what they play for their club.
Okay. They play for a club and these all India invitationals.
Yes, so that is literally where it begins and ends. There is also some additional incentives. For example, there's a chance that if your club wins, there's also another club tournament called the Federation Cup.
Okay.
Okay, so there, if your club wins there, then the team can also go play in the Asia Champions Cup. You know,
Oh.
so there is that. So there is a pathway, but it's just that it's very sort of underutilized, because ideally, for example, if we had a pro league, then you have the winning team in the pro league play in this Asia level, right?
Right.
Instead of that, you have the railways or the team which is going there, and then obviously that's not competition, right? A railways team playing against an actual Lebanese national league champion. So we end up getting really thrashed. That's not a good look.
This is very strange system. I mean, I like it's weird. I don't know. I am of the perspective that boss, ये सब चीजें should be done by private leagues and all of that. This is very strange.
It will happen. It will happen. That's the idea, right? Once you have a private league, automatically it will just fit into that existing system. So the winning team in the private league plays the Asia Cup, and like in football, you have the FIFA Club World Cup, right?
Right.
So that is a similar structure. FIBA is also building now. So it's a matter of time, right? I think we'll get there soon enough, within a few years.
Superb. So, guys, moving on, we have actually a few comments. We have a comment from Hari Sandhu who says Tyagi, nice location. So I guess he's talking about the Indira Gandhi Stadium. Which
No.
Tyagi,
I'll give you. I think he's talking about where Tyagi was. So Tyagi,
where was Tyagi?
he
Where
was in
Tyagi?
Lovely Professional University.
Oh, okay.
I think that's in Jalandhar, right?
Okay.
LPU Jalandhar. So it is a fancy university. So yeah, he was there. But my point is, we would rather have good network than a good background.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, look, honestly speaking, Abhishek Tyagi, good. I was checking out some of his reels. Good player, good looking dude. I think to just support his basketball stuff, if I were in his place, this may sound silly, but Abhishek, if agar aap dekh rahe ho, I would, if I were you, I would actually go approach some modeling agencies. Uh, I can totally see Abhishek making good money just being a model, and that doesn't suck a lot of time. Just because of the simple fact that he'll be in shape, he's good looking, and he's tall. So when you're tall, the photo comes out much better, and they prefer this. I can tell this because from a marketing perspective, I work with fashion brands, and these are the kind of stuff they look at.
No. So Nikhil, this is actually this is a separate conversation we'll have. So just so you know, like some of the guests that I have lined up, that even you don't know about, this is actually a big ecosystem of basketball players turned professional models. Okay,
Absolutely.
this exists already, right? And this is definitely something that they should do. And just imagine if you're appearing in a jockey ka chaddi ad. Okay, I'm not trying to be. But I'm just saying that's the ultimate, right, for a fit guy. So I'm saying why not? And you get good money, bhai. And kaise mera
Yeah.
paise bhai chaddi mein aaya, paise mil gaya, to it's a good life.
Dude, and it's good money. I'm telling you, right? For entry level models per day, like for good models, I have personally like made bank transfers of fucking lakhs together. Like for good, like, and basketball players, it's one of the most physically demanding sports. So they
Yeah.
will be in shape all the time, and they're tall. Like I rarely, most of them are tall. So because of that, it fits really well into this. And
Yes.
it was awesome meeting Abhishek, dude. Hats off to you, despite managing during all the issues you have faced during COVID. I hope your job scene gets sorted. But yeah, this was wonderful. And guys, that's about it for Desi
Hey,
Ballers
wait
today.
one sec. I do have an
Oh,
announcement to make, Nikhil.
oh, please go ahead.
Okay, this is obviously subject to so many variables in life, but that's life. Okay, but I do know who our next guest is going to be, Nikhil. So should we reveal that?
Yeah, go ahead, man. What's the harm?
Okay, so our next guest has appeared on Kaun Banega Karodpati.
Okay.
Okay, you were not expecting that, right? You were like, where?
I thought you were gonna say when you started with C, I was like कोई Chinese league के बारे में बोलेगा ये.
कहाँ से भाई चाइनी लोग कहाँ से लाएंगे भाई इस शो पे लाइक आई नो वी आर वेरी एम्बिशियस बट ये थोड़ा चाइना टिकटॉक भी बैन हो गया भाई मतलब इट्स टू डिफिकल्ट आई डोंट वांट लाइक नेशनल सिक्योरिटी ऑन आवर टेल्स राइट नाउ सो
Right.
नहीं चाइना का नहीं सो इट्स प्रद्युत वोलेटी ही इज अ स्किल्स ट्रेनर सर्टिफाइड स्किल्स ट्रेनर he has worked under Gannon Baker. Nikhil, you know the Gannon Baker? He has done all these Nike skills training videos. Or maybe
Right.
he's one of the very few guys from India who decided कि भाई playing में पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है. I'm going to become a certified trainer. Okay, it's very unique. So he went to the US. He
Right.
trained there, and he's
Okay.
bringing the whole modern skills training approach. The kind of viral Instagram training reels and channels we see, right? He's been doing that, and he also works a lot with underprivileged youth, right? The Indian, I'm not trying to romanticize this, but the Indian ghettos, Indian
Right.
inner city kids, right? And he also has a very special request that he's going to make to Ranveer Singh. Okay, so yeah, it's a lot of weird, exciting things that
To
are gonna.
Ranveer Singh. What? Okay.
Yes, we are going to make a call to Ranveer Singh in the next episode through Pradyot Upaleti. So that is what is up, and that is why you need to subscribe to the Eklavya's YouTube channel and follow Nikhil on his handle. I think you can see his handle right there, right? And yeah, keep tweeting and hashtagging and reaching out to us on our individual handles as well as on Eklavya's. And yeah, keep balling.
Thank you so much, guys. It was wonderful having you here today. And this was Desi Ballers episode 3.